Every once in a while, you just need to make something for fun and for the pure joy of making. Today's project is just that. We like to go all out for Halloween, but we always struggle to find the perfect decorations and adornments for the house. Today, we are making some custom gravestones using a single piece of foam and a small number of hand tools. To get started, here is a short list of materials you will need for the project. One sheet of 4x8 foam insulation. We chose 1 inch thick, but you can also use 1/2 inch or 2 inch thick foam. A quart of gray Drylok. If you can't find gray, you can tint white to make gray. A pint of water-based flat black paint. 1 tube of liquid nails for foam board. One 10-foot section of 1/2 inch PVC. And one 3/16 threaded rod that is at least 4 feet long. Optionally, you can also pick up a pint of brown and green flat paint as well to use for highlighting. To actually make the gravestones, we used a variety of different tools. Now, you don't need to use the exact tools that we used. You can use whatever you have on hand. I will demonstrate with the tools that we have and provide options for different tools that you can use to accomplish the same thing. First, start by cutting down your foam panels into 16-inch wide and 24-inch long sections. You should be able to get 12 panels from the single sheet. You can use a table saw, a hand saw, or anything that will slice through foam. Now, I didn't grab any video of us cutting the foam, so use your imagination that this is me cutting foam instead of plywood. The process is the same. When the panels are ready, time for some carving. We used our Onefinity CNC for all the carving, but you can also freehand the carving using a router or even a utility knife, whatever you have on hand. If you do have a CNC and you want to save some time, we've made the plans available on our Etsy store. All you need is a 90-degree V cutter and you're off to the races. The plans include the full Fusion model, including the toolpaths as well as the vectors, so you can use your favorite CAM package if Fusion is not your jam. Even if you're not using a CNC, the plans include the vectors so you can use them as a template for routing or cutting. Once you have your cam ready, throw your foam on the CNC, set your home position and 0, load the G-code, and let the machine do its magic. Each gravestone takes about 8 to 12 minutes to cut, so you can make all 12 of them in about an hour or 2. When all the carving is done, move on to the rods for holding the gravestones into the ground. We used a palm router and a 3/4 inch cove bit to make the grooves down the back of the panels. If you don't have a router, you can also use a knife of some sort. Make the grooves about 3/4 of an inch wide and about a 1/2 inch deep. Next, cut your PVC down into 8-inch lengths and your threaded rods down to 9-inch lengths. You can save some time by purchasing pre-cut PVC and rods. There will be links in the description below. Once you have all the PVC cut, fill the grooves with liquid nails and press the PVC into the slots. Set the gravestones aside to dry for at least 24 hours. Once the liquid nails has fully cured, it is time for paint. We start painting with the Drylok. Begin by applying a generous coat of the Drylok, which simulates stone or concrete. Let that dry for a few hours or even overnight. Then pour some black paint into a container and thin it with water to make a wash. Lightly brush the surface with the wash and then dab the paint into the letters and the carvings to make them pop a little bit. You can wipe the wash from the surface if you applied too much or if you want the letters to stand out a little bit more. Let the black paint dry for a couple hours, and at this point you can simply call it quits or do a little embellishing with the green and brown paints. Create a wash with the green and brown and brush the colors on in different places to create highlights and that aged effect. Now set the gravestones aside and let them dry for at least a couple more hours. Once everything is dry, take the rods to their final resting location, aka your lawn. Push the rods into the grass about 3 to 4 inches. You may need a hammer to get them down depending on how dense your grass and your lawn is. Once you have two rods in the grass, place the gravestones onto the threaded rods by feeding the rods into the PVC pipe. The gravestones should rest comfortably vertical, or you can push them back a little bit for better viewing. Once you are all done, step back and look at your fine work. I hope you enjoyed this short little project that will undoubtedly bring joy to you, to your family, and every single member of your community, even including your homeowners association. Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting this far. And don't forget to be inspired.